NTA International News.
Christmas celebrations continue as Nigerians mark Boxing Day. Nigerian Navy gives scorecard for 2016, say it achieved drastic reduction in maritime crimes. Ensure Boko Haram does not regroup. Chief of Army Staff urges security agencies in the northeast. Correspondent on special assignment takes a look at the challenges of cotton production in Nigeria. Great to have you join us on the news on NTA International. I am Ifeanyi Okafor. Compliments of the season. And top on our news, today is Boxing Day, a national holiday in many countries to allow the citizens rejoice as well as present and receive gifts from their loved ones in the spirit of the Yuletide season. Timothy Yusuf now tells us how the day was marked in Abuja, Nigeria's capital.
Literally speaking, one would confuse Boxing Day with boxing or pugilistic competition. But the concept of Boxing Day has its roots in the liturgical calendar of the Western Christianity.
It does actually mean it is a time of opening your box. Opening your box. B-O-X.
Precisely in Britain, Boxing Day is celebrated a day after Christmas.
We don't really practice it here. But abroad, in the Western culture, like the United Kingdom mainly, people go and drop gifts for their friends and neighbors and loved ones.
Elsewhere in the world, Boxing Day, or the day after Christmas, is celebrated for different reasons with the declaration of holidays. What is the concept of Boxing Day here in Nigeria?
At Christmas, people will usually receive gifts and store the gifts in boxes. Now, the day after Christmas, after the celebration, everybody brings his gift out and then begins to open the box and to know what is there. Some to keep and some to share with other people.
I believe that it's a day that people should demonstrate the spirit of Christmas, opening their gifts and also sharing gifts.
For me, I feel like every day should be Christmas because every day there should be a reason to give.
In addition to unwrapping of gifts on Boxing Day, many families here in Nigeria extend their Christmas celebrations by visiting places of interest and engaging in some pastime activities. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And still in the spirit of giving, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has put smiles on the faces of women and children at the Children's Hospital in Lagos. The wife of the Senate President, Toyin Saraki, who represented the wife of the president, said the gesture is in line with the Future Assured program in the spirit of Christmas. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
I bring you a Merry Christmas greeting.
Love, care, and the spirit of sharing were what the Future Assured Initiative delegation took to those children and women who needed most at the Mercy Street Children's Hospital and Lagos Island Maternity Hospital. The wife of the Senate President, who led the delegation on behalf of the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, went from bed to bed handing out gifts to the children and women who, due to certain circumstances, had to spend their Christmas in hospital.
To drive meaningful development in any society, the elements of peace, justice, fairness, and honesty must be strong and visible. Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria emphasized the need for respect for one another, irrespective of tribe and religion. Aisha Obali reports.
At this period of festivity, different groups continue to preach peace and love. So are the guests on the program today, as they speak on spreading the message of peace and unity, emphasizing the need for leaders to take the lead in promoting peace and unity. The guests also expressed displeasure over the waning sense of unity and nationalism among Nigerians.
So peace is fundamental to human existence. And all scriptures, all religions, in fact, Christianity is embedded in peace.
And of course, our readiness to be our brothers' keepers.
That they must hammer on the nature of within our political system. Sit down because there are certain benefits accruable to you and you turn the other eyes.
The quality of development
is predicated on the quality of thought, purpose, and intention of our leadership at every sphere of life.
While they call on religious leaders to always ensure clarity of messages to followers, they suggested promotion of peace rather than grudge and hate. Virtues such as love, kindness, equity, justice, honesty, and truth were also highlighted as key in building a virile society. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Still focusing on peace and unity, security agencies in the Northeast must sustain closer cooperation and coordination to ensure that Boko Haram do not regroup. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Burtai, said this during the reopening of the Maiduguri-Gubio-Damase and Maiduguri-Mongunu roads. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Baga town is known for its huge fish potentials, while the Damasak axis, rich in agricultural produce, connect Niger Republic, where inter-border commercial activities are conducted. The two routes have remained closed for about 3 years due to several severe attacks by Boko Haram, destroying both lives and properties in the area.
It linked with the lecture of over almost, I can say, up to 10 to 15,000 people that are living and the benefit with this road.
To the people and Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, there is no better Christmas gift this festive period than the recent recapturing of the dreaded Sambisa forest, and described 2016 as a year of success and victory in the fight against insurgency.
Some international organizations are renting houses in Maiduguri for 5 years, thinking that this madness will continue for the next 5 years. This madness is coming to an end, and by the grace of God, our people are going back to their homes.
Members of the military operating here are properly catered for and are being paid their dues appropriately and at the right time. So no any form of inducement should be given to them.
The army chief and representative of Borno State government had a ceremonial historic drive through the reopened Maiduguri-Gubio-Damasak road. From Damasak local government of Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has congratulated the gallant troops of the Nigerian military for finally seizing the Sambisa forest from the Boko Haram terrorists and securing the Northeast, paving the way for the reopening of 2 strategic roads in Borno State. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, in a statement issued by his special assistant, Shegun Adeyemi, appealed to Nigerians to continue to support the troops as they clear remnants of the terrorists who are now on the run. He also appealed for increased vigilance among Nigerians as Boko Haram escapees seek to integrate themselves into communities far and near, saying eternal vigilance is the price of freedom. The minister urged Nigerians to keep the gallant and victorious troops in their prayers and to also imbibe the mantra of "if you see something, say something," as a way of ensuring that no escaped terrorist is able to wreak havoc in their communities. He hailed Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima for his unwavering support for the military and his administration's determination to quickly restore normalcy across the state, saying it was in recognition and celebration of the great feat performed by the military that he decided to lead over 30 Nigerian and international journalists to join the Honorable Minister of Defense, Brigadier General Mansour Dan Ali, the service chiefs and the Governor of Borno State at the opening of the 2 strategic roads in Borno on Sunday. Lai Mohammed said in the overall, the leadership provided by President Muhammadu Buhari gave birth to the much-needed impetus for the military's victory in the Northeast and urged Nigerians to continue to give their unalloyed support to the president in his untiring efforts to restore peace and security across the country and also revamp the economy. Now, still on security, the Nigerian Navy says it has recorded a drastic reduction in maritime crimes like illegal bunkering, crude oil theft, and piracy within the year 2016 and is poised to achieve more in the forthcoming year. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Eteibas, disclosed this while reviewing its scorecard at the ceremonial sunset held in Calabar. Omar Basiedet completes the story.
For the Nigerian Navy, 2016 recorded several achievements, including fleet recapitalization, which entails the acquisition of more platforms, requisite training and improved maritime security despite the challenging environment. Chief of the Naval Staff, represented by the Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral James Oluwole, attributed the successes recorded so far to the collective resolve of President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Assembly.
Through this approach, the Nigerian Navy recently took delivery of 2 offshore patrol vessels, LMS Centenary and LMS Unity, built in China, and 6 interceptor boats from Sri Lanka. Our production effort also resulted in the construction of 2 seaworld defense boats, LMS Andoni and LMS Karadua, to mention but a few.
Earlier, Rear Admiral Oluwole had decorated 11 officers newly promoted to different ranks within the Eastern Naval Command, with a charge for them to render more services to the country. Some of the officers described their promotion as a call for more hard work.
It's another step forward in the right direction, I may say.
I have more responsibilities now as a commander to discharge, and I believe by the grace of God, I'll be able to meet those responsibilities.
Nigerian Navy, which recently celebrated its Diamond Jubilee, has emerged as a major naval force within the sub-region. In Calabar, Umar Basidet, NTA News.
Now to environment matters. The federal government has warned against dumping of refuse on drainages in different parts of the country. Permanent Secretary, Ecological Fund Office, Dr. Habiba Lawal, gave the warning in a message at the commissioning of the Daura Township Erosion Control Project Phase 1 in Katsina. Olain Kaujo reports.
The goal and vision of this administration is moving towards universal coverage. And for this to occur, we need access, we need quality, and we need to reduce the cost to the individual.
As for the mix-up there. And now moving on, the spate of fire outbreaks being recorded day in, day out in the country with attendant loss of lives and property has become worrisome. With a high frequency of these occurrences across the country, what could be the missing link? Justin Bemui in this report seeks to find answers.
Raging infernos, very unfortunate scenarios which safety experts, however, say are largely evitable. Nigeria has always suffered its fair share of such fire incidents, be it private residences, offices, oil and gas sectors, but mostly the markets. Citing available statistics from the Federal Fire Service provides that from January 2015 to June 2016 alone, 809 fire incidents were recorded, with 29 lives lost and over 17 billion naira worth of property scorched and burnt down to ashes. All these records come from Abuja and Lagos tragedies alone. With close consideration of this alarming proportion of fire outbreaks in the country, with relatively poor firefighting services, Badanga Ahmed, a fire safety professional, attributes the development to low public awareness for proactiveness and calls for restructuring of the fire service.
The states are independent from the federal. So currently most of the state fire services are the liability state.
The Federal Fire Service, having the mandate of checking the trend of fire incidents in the country, affirms a renewed commitment towards an improved service delivery.
We are looking out for a best performance from Nigerian fire service, because now most of these state governments are picking up. And then with what we have in federal now, we as well, we are aspiring to the states to augment the lapses that is already in existence in the state.
On the case of frequent market fires, experts say hazardous building, unplanned state of the markets and poor electrification render the markets prone to fire outbreaks.
The way our markets are planned matters so much. They don't put into consideration about the safety of their goods. the safety of the people, they don't put into consideration. So what I'm trying to say is that all those in charge of the market should liaise with fire service.
In times like this, when the season is dry and said to be exclusively prone to fire outbreaks, the Federal Fire Service enlightens the public that proactiveness remains the key.
We should not smoke, do not smoke while you're on bed. So we should avoid putting a candle on tables. Then matches. You don't have to leave your matches or lighter, very close to where children can actually take. People taking petrol in jerry can and taking to their homes, we should avoid it.
The effectiveness of the Federal Fire Service alone, fire safety experts say, is not enough to address the trend of fire outbreaks. They opine that states and local governments need to have a structure in place for crisis management, as well as residents should help the agencies to carry out their duty easily. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
Exotic land of rainbow, a giant in the sun, rich in human and natural resources, a land of cultural diversity for tourists' appreciation. Nigeria occupies 923,766 square kilometers, accommodating over 250 indigenous languages. It is a wonderful environment for leisure and business. Nigeria, land of milk and honey, a paradise for tourists.
NTA International News. Africa as it is.
Great to have you back on the news on NTA International. Drought and soil degradation, coupled with a high cost of chemicals, have been observed as major factors responsible for the decline in cotton production in Nigeria. Now that the federal government is to revive the cotton and textile industries, agriculture correspondent Musa Babaliu takes a look at the challenges associated with cotton and the way forward.
Cotton is a soft and fluffy fiber that grows in a ball-like shape around the plant. The plant is a shrub that is native to tropical and subtropical regions around the world, including Nigeria. The cotton industry is said to have a considerable economic importance for the well-being of Nigeria, as it provides foreign exchange earnings and also serves as a source of raw materials for textile factories. In recent times, however, cotton contribution to the economy is on the decline, as most of the farmers are gradually abandoning its production and switching to other crops. The reasons are high cost of chemicals to control insect infestation.
We normally spend money much on chemical, like snapper and other things, to prevent it.
Bollworm, when you affect the cotton farm, you're having low yield, you're having the number of balls you may get is reduced.
This is expected to become history as new variety of cotton is being introduced by the federal government.
BT cotton is a cotton variety that has been transformed to show resistance to bollworm infestation. Farmers that are planting BT cotton they are no longer required to spray their farm.
This technology can contribute a lot to revamping our industries, contribute to food security.
The seeds are undergoing trial before it's released to farmers. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Away from agriculture to housing, the approval of 13 billion naira for mortgage refinancing for civil servants has been described as the evidence that the federal government is committed to making life better for Nigerians. Executive Secretary, Federal Government Staff Housing Board, Hannah Tufika, said this in an exclusive interview with Adebola Brookslyn Sunday.
Research indicates that housing deficit in Nigeria is about 17 million. The increasing demand for housing loans by civil servants prompted the approval of the 13 billion naira loan by President Muhammadu Buhari.
The present government is so passionate about ensuring that Nigerians own their own homes as their welfare policy. Before the first tenure of this government ends, we should be able to bridge the gap that exists, in the housing deficit.
On whether civil servants from all ministries, departments, and agencies can benefit from the loan, Dr. Fika said,
all public servants, as indicated in the law establishing the board, will draw from the 13 billion naira as a motivating factor for them to deliver the process of the change agenda of the present administration.
She said staff welfare is a priority in President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, and the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that workers' motivation become a reality, especially through the provision of affordable housing. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Next is Chazala Mekie with stories from the financial sector.
It's good to have you join us on Business News, compliments of the season. As Nigerians celebrate the Christmas and New Year in the coming days, one word that cannot be forgotten in a hurry is recession. This is as a result of its impact on all Nigerians, particularly the low-income earners. This no doubt makes the causes and solutions of economic recession in Nigeria a major topic of discourse. As 2016 winds down gradually, some Nigerians rule out some decisions that must be taken to reflate the economy.
Where we are right now, we cannot run away from the fact that some loan will be required to reflate this economy. If we can have infrastructure, proper infrastructure, it will not only encourage Nigerians to be entrepreneurial, it will help the country to attract also foreign investors.
All the departments of government that are going to be playing, we play as one team. There's going to just be a team Nigeria. We must be able to now start looking at what you call volume that unlocks value, that unlocks what you call cash-based, project financing models. This way, we'll be out of the woods.
While Nigerians are optimistic that 2017 will be more profitable and productive. That's the package on Boxing Day. I am Chiazala Mekie. The news continues. Compliments of the season.
Russians mourn victims of Black Sea jet crash. Details of this and more with Basi Itaikbang.
Somalia has decided to delay its presidential election for a fourth time amid allegations of intimidation. An electoral official said Monday that the votes had been set for Wednesday, but it's likely it will be January 24, 2017. President Barack Obama says it is a lifetime privilege to serve as U.S. Commander-in-Chief. President Obama, who said this at his one-day Christmas visit to Marine Base, promises continued gratitude and commitment to service. He said although this will be his last time to address the people as the president, he assured them of his commitment to standing by them every step of the way. Greeks has reported a case of highly contagious H5N8 bird flu virus in a wild bird. The World Organization for Animal Health said Monday that several countries in Europe and Middle East have found cases of the bird in the past few weeks. The H5N8 virus has not been found in humans and cannot be transmitted through food. Flags were flown at half-mast around Russia Monday as mourners placed flowers at the airport in southern Russia in respect of victims of the military plane that crashed into the Black Sea. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman said 11 bodies had been recovered so far, adding that 30 ships, 5 helicopters and a drone, and more than 100 divers were involved in the siege. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
And on sports, Nigeria Scrabble Federation is poised to achieve more successes in 2017 as Thomas Colville of France sets new round-the-world sailing record of 49 days. Kenema with the